Hello and welcome back to Claude Painting Studios series on painting some Austrian Napoleonics. This video really wanted to sort of focus in on the use of Army Painter colour primers, which are a spray can of various colours which can also serve as the final coat of paint. So they give you the option of using a colour that's in the majority on your model, and you spray it on, and then you can forget about painting over that area if you're happy with a basic level of paint for the table. In this case I've used uniform grey, and the models in front of you are some Austrian Landwehr. They are 28mm miniatures. They are a combination of Victrix bodies, legs, arms, backpacks, but with Perry heads. The Perry kit for the Austrians provides you with 3 different head options, so you could have helmets, shakos, or the course hut, which is what we see here. Victrix do 3 individual kits, so they have a Landwehr kit up to 1809 kit with the helmets, and then a 1808 to 1815 with shakos. But they only have one of each head type. So I have a bunch of Victrix Austrian bodies left over, with some of the poses that I'm not so keen on. But I thought they'd be fine for Landwehr, who are less well drilled, and had a Perry set kicking about, so took the heads from that. So after spraying with uniform grey, did some work on the flesh colours. Vallejo Game Colour Vallejo Game Colour Extra Opaque. This is heavy skin tone, and Vallejo Model Colour Flat Brown for hair, musket stock, and also the packs and water bottle on the back of the models. Moving on, we have the black up next. Black sort of predominates. The straps on this model are black as opposed to white as they are for the line infantry. Also gaiters, boots, hat and pack, cartridge box on the back, and rather than using a black, I've used a very, very dark grey, German grey, but this just means when we come to wash the model later, it will darken and shade the recesses a bit, just to add a bit of extra tone. I always like to avoid using pure black and pure white on my own models where possible. It just gives you that flexibility of being able to further darken your black in inverted commas, and also highlight your white in inverted commas if you use an off-white for that. After doing the German grey, use some Vallejo Scarlet to do some piping on the cuffs and collar, epaulets, turnbacks, and a sort of bobble, if we like, on top of the hat there. There are leaves on top of that, which I've picked out with some deep green. After that, the model gets a very light dry brush just to pick out the raised areas, add a simple highlight in one easy step, and that is with some Elfic flesh. Next step is to pick out the metallics, and as well as the musket barrels, which were picked out in plate mail metal. We also have a bit of metal work on the front of the hat, where there's a pin securing the bauble. And if we turn all around, we can also see there's a brass plate on the cartridge box. Funnily enough, picked out in brass. The model was then washed. I went for my tin of dark tone Quickshade, which runs into the recesses really effectively. Does a bit less staining of the colours on the flatter surfaces than the Quickshade wash out of the bottles. And with being a varnish as well, it's going to protect that paintwork from chipping, which is more important on metal models than it is on these plastics. It does need a coat of matte varnish. In one of my other videos, someone was asking what I use, and I have a tin of Halford's matte lacquer here. Halford's being a automotive and bicycle repair supply company in the UK. I have never had a problem with Halford stuff ever going frosty, regardless of the sort of the conditions that it has been sprayed in. So it's a highly recommended lacquer to take the shine off gloss varnishes. Final model to the right has had a little bit more work just to add a few final highlights and bring the colours up. Not a necessary step at all, but just to show you that it is possible just to add that final level of flourish. A little bit of medium sea grey on the uniform, sort of take it back to the original tone, a little bit above that, bit of highlighting. Army Painter, Barbarian flesh as a highlight on the skin. Some ancient GW Mithril silver, any other silver paints will do. And the Scarlet was highlighted with the base colour, and then I added a little bit of Vallejo off-white as a final highlight for that. The Landwehr are a quite straightforward uniform to paint, and especially in the Austrian army where everything else is white, it is a bit nice for a bit of variety. They were pretty much around to be fairly useless in actual historical battles, but eventually I hope to have 30 of these arranged as a militia formation in sharp practice to do absolutely nothing when it comes round to actually fighting against the French at some point this year. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'm going to try and be clever now with my editing and actually put in some links to the other videos in this series for you to watch. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. If there's anything else you'd like to see me tackle with painting, any other hints and tips, please put suggestions down below. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thanks, bye bye.